Hey everybody, Juan here. What's up YouTube? Wanted to talk about Pet Sematary. Watched it yesterday. Overall, I thought the movie was super creepy. I thought it did well. I don't really think that it faltered as far as the feeling goes from the '89 movie, from the original. I've never read the book, so from a story point of view, I can only base it off of the first film, which it deviates from a little bit here and there. Again, I've never read the book, so I don't know. Gabe, I think, has read this book because he's read a good amount of Stephen King. But I've never read it, so all of my comparisons are really going to be based on the two films. I enjoyed this Pet Sematary. It gave me creeps through the whole movie. There was only one or two little things that really made me chuckle. One of them was when they thought Church was dead and he came back to life, and the wife says, "Good thing you're not a fucking vet." That was really funny. I don't know why, it just kind of came out of nowhere, but overall, like I said, I thought the second remake was good. It was '89, the first film, and I don't remember the last time I actually really sat through and saw it as a whole. I just don't remember. So it may be '89. What's that? I was born in '87. I was 2 years old when the movie came out, and it's probably been a good 20 or 25 years since I seen the original movie as a whole. I read some, because obviously the biggest difference in this movie was the fact that Ellie was the one who was killed and not Gage. I went through and I read a few articles as to what some of the other differences are compared to what I noticed as I was watching. Pretty much it was a very similar movie to the original. Like I said, the Ellie and the Gage thing turned a little bit. I actually really liked Ellie being the one that got run over by the car, because as much as I really liked Gage killing people, and children in scary movies are creepy as fuck. Gage being one of those. I remember this movie being really creepy. Not really scary, but creepy, because Gage was, 3-4 years old or something like that, and he was going around with a scalpel and killing people. That was creepy. But this, suspending my belief, this feels a little bit more believable, because Ellie's a little older. She's a little stronger than Gage. It just seems logically better, in my opinion. It seems like the mother and the father would be able to kick Gage a lot more easily, and he wouldn't necessarily. I know that the feeling is that he got possessed. At least that's what I've read, and that's what a lot of people believe. When he got buried, he got possessed by a demon, and that's kind of what gave him a little bit more strength. But it's still hard to believe that a tiny little child was able to kill, a couple of grown-ass adults. But again, that was one big difference. That was the biggest difference going into this movie, and I know some people didn't like it. I don't care. I didn't mind it. I'm okay with Ellie being the one that died. Some of the other differences I noticed as I was watching, there wasn't too many kind of towards going into the movie. Like the beginning and the middle were very similar. I know that in the original movie, Judd is the one who takes the family to the Pet Sematary and kind of tells them about it, and in the remake, Ellie just kind of stumbles onto it. I didn't remember that part. Like I said, I've just read a few articles, and I'm just kind of going through that stuff, plus some of the things that I did notice. Towards the middle, I remember Judd telling the story of the zombie kid. I didn't really remember the complete specifics. Now I know, it was Baderman, I think. He was killed in World War II. They buried him in there and all that kind of stuff, and he came back and was kind of a zombie. And then his dad killed him and then killed himself and set fire to the house. But I remember that story being told by Judd in the original. after I watched the remake, I thought to myself that maybe I had just forgot and it had been told in the remake. But there's this very quick mention in an article when when the dad is looking, after he's resurrected the cat, he's looking at all these articles about the town and the cemetery. It pops up there, but I kind of feel like we missed a little bit by not retelling that. That's I really enjoyed that part because it lended a little bit more creed to moving into humans being buried there. In just through my reading in the original, Judd's wife isn't mentioned at all, from the book and from the 2019 remake, but it was cool because having her while Judd was being killed by Ellie, Ellie takes her mask off and it's Judd's wife's face, and that's scary to him and to us. So that was really cool. Obviously, when you get to kind of the crescendo of the movie, when after he resurrects his daughter Ellie, he puts her in the grave in the pet cemetery. The biggest things were the wife's death. Obviously, she dies in both of them, but in the '89 original, after everything's dead, everybody's dead. The husband takes the wife to the pet cemetery thinking that because she had just freshly died, that things would be different. He's the one who resurrects her, and then she ends up coming back to life, and off screen, she kills him. But in this one, Ellie kills her mom, and she seems to hate her mom. She seems to really not like her mom at all, which could be just, again, if a demon has possessed her, could be just fucking with her, but she seems to not like her. But after she kills her mom, she knocks out her dad. She's the one who takes the mom to the pet cemetery and buries her. And so while everybody's fighting, the mom kills the dad with a rod, and that's kind of how the movie ends. At the crescendo of the original movie, the dad kills Church by sedating him, and then he kills him. In the remake, the dad opts to not do that. He opts to take him somewhere else, and that's kind of what leads to Ellie being killed. But in the original, Church re-dies. In the remake, Church is not dead. In the original, the dad takes the mom and buries her. In the remake, Ellie takes the mom and buries her, and the mom is the one who kills the dad. The dad, if I remember right, from the original, the dad doesn't die. I mean, you think he dies at the end from the mom, but it just happens differently. He's already kind of had a happy ending, even though he's insane at this point. In the original, by the time he dies, but in the remake, like I said, the mom stabs him with some kind of stake, and then I'm guessing they bury him in the burial ground, and then all three of them come back to the house. They set fire to Judd's house, and Gage, who has been locked in the car this whole time while the battle's kind of been going on, opens the door, and that's where the movie ends in the remake. Again, I noticed some of the differences, even though I have not seen the original movie in a long time, which makes me want to go back and watch the original. I think just purely remembering that the original was scary and it was creepy, but I feel like the new one just kept me creeped out the whole time. They showed a lot of the twisted up sister in the remake, and they made it seem like the house was haunted in the remake. And so through the whole movie, I felt a little bit more creeped out, and they did rely on a lot of jump scares and things like that. But I feel like they were a little bit more. They were better. I reacted better to the jump scares because I was creeped out through the whole movie already. There was some kind of weirdness going through the whole movie, and that was cool. I like that about horror movies. If you can't tell, I really enjoyed this movie, but I like horror movies. It's Stephen King movies, for some reason, have a really hard time making it to the big screen, for the masses. I enjoy a lot of them. I enjoyed The Langoliers, which has awful graphics, but I enjoyed it. I know that I enjoyed Dark Tower, but it's because I don't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about the lore, all the kind of stuff that preceded it until it made it to the big screen. So I enjoy things, but a lot of the masses, I know that they have a real problem with Stephen King stuff going to big screen. But who knows? Let me know what you guys thought about Pet Sematary if you've seen it. Again, I really enjoyed it. I noticed a lot of the changes that they did it, even though I haven't seen the old movie in a long time. Pascal was creepy as fuck. In the old one, he did pop up a lot more. In the new one, he only popped up here and there, and he went to Gage instead of the mother in the remake too, which was another difference. But I enjoyed the movie. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I'm sure that there were some graphics and things going on as I was telling some of those differences. You can always reach out outsidethelongbox@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 970-573-6148. On Twitter and Instagram @OutsideLongbox. On Facebook, facebook.com/thinkingoutsidethelongbox. Let us know what you think. I'm sure Gabe and Doyle have some more videos coming this week. Hopefully you're having a good Monday. We'll catch you later.